Okay. So first thing, I remember being in the room where were two single beds, and one was close to the window, and the other one was in opposite side. And I remember being on the one close to the window, despite what Kate said and Jerry said, because they said that Madeline was sleeping in the other bed. I remember bed next to the window where I was. So yeah, and I remember that it was a time when I was trying to fall asleep, and I will say also, as before, blonde hair woman, you already know who she probably is. So a blonde hair woman came into the bedroom, and she basically like was close to me, and I think she thought I was sleeping, and she rubbed my head, and she said what I told you before, my mother, I love you, I will find you. And from that I also remember from that room I also remember that a few people were in the room, and one person was hurting me, sexually abusing me, and I remember
you're doing really well.
that one person.
You're doing really well.
I'm trying. I just don't read comments. And one person used syringe, injected something to my body, and it made me feel like paralyzed. I saw what was happening. Like I was just, it took my movements away from me. I couldn't move, I couldn't scream, I couldn't say anything. And then I remember that someone, I don't know who, it's hard to know actually, someone gave me the other person through the window, and this other person who took me from this first person, I only remember that he was tan skin and had dark hair and was slim, and that's all I know about him. And that he took me diagonally to the car, and I remember that the car was black. I remember that seats were gray and black. I remember I was in the back seat. Later I remember that I was in something in my thighs, like a box, or I don't know what was it actually, but something in my thighs, or like a box. And later, and in this time when I was in this something like a box, I remember a woman shouting and crying, so it had to be close, very close to the place from where I was taken actually. Can you just not put laugh emojis, please? Because I can see everything and it caused me much stress now. Maybe I will just turn off comments, because
remember, it'll probably be those involved in this, Julia. Okay, so don't take it personally.
Okay.
This shows they're worried.
Yeah, it was the full, someone said it was the full moon. I said before, it was the full moon then. I don't have to say everything, right?
You don't have to say anything.
I'm very stressed. Julia. I know that it was the full moon. I remember it.
So how does Tony Podesta fit into this?
I didn't finish the part of my memory. And then after I was in this box, and then I remember being in the car again. I remember that the car, the driver had something blue, like a jacket or jumper, and the car was with her, and the car suddenly stopped on the road. And I remember that it was a small light from the lamp from the road, and the car suddenly stopped, I guess because something was on the road, because it was suddenly stopped. And I don't remember then later anything else from that part. Then the second memory, like the next memory I have from that part, like after this, is being in a basement, the first one. And the first basement, I remember that I was sitting in the edge, and walls were like in every single basement underground place that I remember were made from gray stones. And I remember that I was sitting in the edge, and I was crying, and a man came to the basement underground place, and he said to me something like Katie or Caitlin. I'm not sure if it was Katie or Caitlin. I'm saying it honestly. We have to go. And he gave me a hand, and I gave him my hand. He took my hand, and he went out with me. It was like I knew him. I didn't protest. I just went out with him. And when I went out with him, it was a beach there, empty beach. Nothing was there, no one, nothing. And then I have some other memories of this person, and I remember being in the underground place again, and I don't know if that's the same underground place or not. Actually, looked similar, but had additional room, and I just don't know if it's the same place or not. But in the second underground place that I remember were other two girls.
Take your time. You're doing really well. You're doing really well, Julia.
I'm trying.
Just take your time. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
Yeah, okay. I think I just wanna say, like, mention that in this other room, one kid was abused, and there were two men, and they had masks, and the one man had a white mask on his face, and the second man was like looked like a clown. I mean, he had the clown's hair and everything, and the red ball on his neck, and I, from what I remember, the clown man, this is how I call him, he was the kind one, and the other man was very aggressive towards the other girl. He wanted her to go with him. She didn't want to go. And he dragged her along the floor.
You're doing really well.
I just don't understand how people can do this to other human beings, to children. I just don't get it.
They're being misled by evil. It's the only way of, which means there's an opposite, of course. I mean, this is it's pure.
Yeah,
pure evil.
Can I add my best friend here? She wants to.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I will do this. She will give me much support. This is your. She knows about everything, actually. Sheena, I added you. I don't know if you can accept it. Sheena? One moment.
Can I just, whilst you're trying to get that on, just say something? So, a few days ago, I forwarded you correspondence from someone I'm in contact with about a child hanging in tree, or several children hanging in trees.
Can we
Yeah.
do it slower a little bit?
Yes.
Hi, Sheena.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi, Sheena.
Hi Gary, how's it going?
Sheena is the most amazing person in the world that I know.
Oh, it's
You are
lovely to.
amazing, man.
Oh,
And sorry
bless you.
Sheena for the last time, actually.
Oh, thank you for supporting her, Sheena. I really appreciate it.
Always.
She's amazing.
I'm just going to mute myself because I have my baby in the background and he is very chatty.
Okay.
No
No worries.
problem. It's just better when Sheena is here, actually.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to have for you to have some support.
Yes.
Where would you like to go?
Yes. I would rather move to the last underground place, because I believe it is the the most important one.
Okay. Is this
So
it?
I will.
Is this in relation to the initials JE?
Yeah, as well too.
Okay.
Yeah. So and to TP and to PA and to GM and to other kids and to other people who I don't know who they are.
Would you like to say who some of those initials are, or would you like me to say, or would you rather not say?
I will say it, but give me some time. So it's it's easier to write something than just say it. But I know how children were treated there. That there were a lot of kids, and yeah. So this is underground place that had these altars that Gary was talking about before.
Mm.
And I will just mention it again. So it was. So first it was a big place, and there were altars made from gray stones, and they were like in a child size, and children were hurt there, abused there, and the men were. I remember that when I was abused there, and other girls actually, from what I remember, and the other people were wearing something black, and they were repeatedly saying the same sentence, let us take her, let them take her. And they were saying this all the time, like during the abuse. They were saying this, and then they chose a girl, which I believe was this girl who was later in the other room in an X shape, laying down in an X shape, and they were like around her, and they had all of them had necklaces, transparent necklaces in an X shape, and and they were using something sharpened to take a little, really not much, a little blood from her body, and they were putting this to these necklaces, and they were all wearing something black, and and I saw it.
Julia, God's with you now. God's by your side,
I know.
okay, through all of this. I can assure you of that.
And I remember it was a time when I was sitting down next to the wall and I was crying and shouting, "Mommy, Daddy." And I
Well, one of those.
remember, and I remember that then the woman who I truly think and believe is Ghislaine Maxwell came to me, put hand on my mouth, and tried to force me to go on an altar. And I tried. What could I do as a child? Actually, nothing. I tried to, like, protest.
How?
But then the
Sure,
other man came to her and held her to get me to the altar.
how sure are you that that was Ghislaine Maxwell?
100%.
100%. Did you see Jeffrey Epstein there?
Yes. And actually, not only there.
What was Jeffrey Epstein doing?
So I remember, for example, being on a boat with him. Actually, I didn't want to speak about it, but I think it's important in this case. I remember that I was on a boat with him. I'm very, very sure that he was the person who took my hand in the first underground place, calling me Katie or Caitlin. I remember that he was saying to me something like, repeatedly, almost the same sentence on the boat. Something like, sorry. Something like there was no, would I understand that this is the only way? He repeated what actually was said to me by Jerry. This was the only way to help your parents. This was the only way to help your parents, Madeline. The only way to help your parents. Now you have different name. Then you will have another name. This was the only way to help your parents. And Jerry, this is the only way to help your parents. So actually, what, Kay and Jerry, what have you done? What did you do that this was the only way to help your parents? Help parents.
Was one of those people in the basement Prince Andrew?
Can we move a little bit slower, please?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I just cannot process it, what I'm saying.
Take your time. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. You're doing really, really well. You're amazing, okay? And God's with you. I promise you.
I know if it wouldn't be God, then I wouldn't be here, probably.
Neither would I. Neither would I. You're doing
I remember
so well.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I remember that I had a friend there in this underground last place. She called herself Veronica.
Okay.
She was actually in the similar age of mine, I guess. And I remember the moment when we introduced ourselves. I was sitting like in front of her, next to the wall, and she had a mark on her left eye. Arm. I wanted to say arm, on her left arm, brown mark. And she said she's Veronica, and I said I'm Maddie, and no one can take my memories from me. No one. And I remember the moment when the other girl was, their girls actually were abused on altars. And Veronica, she encouraged both of us to run away. And imagine that you have altars like in the middle of this big room that I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
And on the right, you have later the room where was this girl in the X shape. And on the left side, you have a place where walls aren't that don't like look like gray stones. They look like a wooden. It was one wooden wall that I definitely remember. And there was a ladder. And Veronica was, I don't remember how it went. I don't remember like what if she said something, what she said. I remember how it went, but I remember that we were sitting and when the other girl was abused, the other girls were abused, but one girl was closer to us, and that's why I'm talking. One girl was abused, and in that time, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it is possible that we were able to go away, but it didn't take a long time to catch us again, I guess, because I remember that we went out from this underground place, and it was a long grass there, and the entrance was in the ground. And I remember that it was very dark, so I guess it was night. I remember we were running away, and I remember that then we were chased and we were caught. And I don't understand why some people laugh here when I talk about such a stressful memory.
Ignore it. You're doing really well. You're doing amazing.
So when we were caught, two men, they took us to the forest. And one man was holding me. He was standing next to the tree. And the other man was hurting Veronica. It was like a, you know how some trees, when they are cut or whatever, they are laying down on the grass and they are standing. So it was like that. And it was a time because all my memories, they were all coming in pieces. It was the time because I remember, because I saw that he put something sharp into her neck.
Yeah.
And she was a child, just to remind, she was a child. And I was a child, and I just remember, I was just very scared that she didn't survive. And it was a time when I was couldn't stop thinking, and I had this all the time in my mind, and yeah, but then and this is the last memory I actually have with her.
Okay. Can I tell you a little bit about some of the other evidence I acquired to give you a break just for a moment?
One second, because someone said, very impressive, I cannot even remember my childhood. Brilliant detailed description at the age of 4. Everyone's memory is different. Every single person has a different memory, and you repeatedly say that Madeline never existed, which is not true. And I would recommend you to just leave this life right now, because you aren't helpful. And yeah, that's all I want to say. Yeah, I think, Gary, that I think that because I'm in a I'm just talking about memories, I think it's better if I would just talk about this, because if I would stop, it may be harder. It may be harder later to go back with this. Yeah, so the last memory actually that I had with her that I remember. And yeah, I remember also other girls. I remember memory that were 2 girls older than me. They were like, I don't know, they were just teenagers. I would say maybe 14. I don't know. Maybe 13. I didn't tell me their age. I don't remember. And I called one of them Angie. And they were the other one I called Lisa. And they were connected. I mean, they were like, I don't know even how to describe it. One of them had something on her neck that connected her to the wall and limited her movements. And they both had handcuffs, and I don't remember if I had handcuffs. I don't remember. But I do remember that there was a corridor next. That first, before I will say, I remember that and they actually too. They drew something on the wall. It was the time when we drew something on the wall, and I drew white X's. And there was a wall next to us where there was a hole with X's, letter X, in different sizes, all white. And and there was a there was a corridor. There was a corridor, and in the corridor there were doors, and these doors had oval how's this, oval plate. I'm not sure it is the correct word, but something oval with number and initials. And I remember that I was once in the I went into the room 116, and I remember that I was there, and there was a bed on the left, and there was very high ceiling, and I remember that there was a window with how's English, bars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, bars like a prison.
Yeah. And and here we go, if he's going about abuse again. So yeah, it's actually one of the very hard memories. Actually, I
You've got this, Julia. You've got this.
try.
When I was there was a case of 2 children that were abused on there's a reason I'm saying this, on a Jimmy Savile Outward Bound holiday, and one of them witnessed the unaliving of another child called Claire. If anyone hasn't seen this. It's very interesting. And they, when they're adults, they report it to the police because they remember what happened to them when they were a child on that holiday. Now, I've researched around that case, and it wasn't publicised by those individuals, but it was linked to Jimmy Savile, and I found a link to Prince Andrew and Princess Anne almost immediately from that company, Outward Bound, which was run by Jimmy Savile. The police were deliberately trying to avoid dealing with that case. Those two individuals show all of the emails between them and the police, and all they're worried about is finding out where these two victims are when they're adults. They're not even worried about the children. But that links to the Freemasons almost immediately as well, from Prince Andrew, from Princess Anne, to Jimmy Savile, to an apparent murder of a child and the abuse of two children on that holiday. And I think when you're ready, I don't know if that helps you to talk about other people when you're ready in relation to you.
Sheena, are you here? Sheena.
Yes, I'm just putting Mally to bed. So I don't want to distract your live while I'm doing that.
Okay, but you are here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So going back to the room I described, I only wanted to say that Gary, because you said something to me before that I shouldn't connect memories with people because they can.
Well, I personally believe if you feel strong enough, because you've already provided initials, I think I think you need to name them.
But I don't know if I should connect strictly. I know who this person is, and I know that this person was there and hurt me, but I don't know if I should just connect the memory of the person. I just don't know if I should say it because you mentioned something to me before that they can like take me to court because of what? Because of what I'm saying, but I'm saying the truth. But they can still take me to court, and they will win because they have money and they are powerful.
But this is what your memories are telling you, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm telling you for a fact that I have linked Prince Andrew and Princess Anne to a child trafficking network and Freemasons and international government fraud and to Jimmy Savile.
Okay, I know.
Rishi Sunak is linked to the same system of fraud. He's used a false date of birth. Keir Starmer is part of this international government fraud. The King himself is part of this international government fraud. He's resigning from companies as I'm exposing this fraud. Prince William is linked to this international government fraud. He is resigning from companies as I'm exposing the fraud. They're dissolving intelligence agency companies linked to the Russian government, the UK government, linking back to the monarchy, and a threat to humanity from weapons and directed energy as well in radiation. You know, I'm not afraid to, but obviously it's different for you because you've got personal memories of these people. So it's not, you know, I'm not afraid of these people. I'm willing, and I don't expect you to be, but I'm willing to die for these children that are being subjected to this.
I already said before in the past that the only way they can stop me is just to unalive me.
Julia, I really think you have nothing to lose. Drop the bomb.
I know.
I agree.
Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to say, okay, I will say the Tony, you know which one?
Podesta.
Yeah. He was in the room with me, and he just did something bad, and
We must stop
abused
this
me.
evil.
Abused me. Yeah, I know, abused me. But it's just hard to
I know.
say.
I know.
And I remember I remember the very aggressive barking from outside because there was a small window. Yeah, I just wanted to say it. And yeah, and I don't want to talk about this abuse today anymore. And yeah, and I feel like
No problem. You've done amazing. You've really done so
and yeah,
well. You've done so well. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, and I remember Jeffrey Epstein too,
Cool.
and Prince Andrew too, and no one can take my memories away from me. And people will be probably very hateful under this live, but I
Don't
will
worry
try
about
not
the
her because
they are
I do worry about
distractions.
haters.
They are full on distractions, you know this.
Many people, okay, we're talking millions of people are implicated in this as this fraud. Okay, whether it be they're part of the child trafficking, whether they've gained from this crime that has victimized humanity for so long, you're going to get people that are involved in this trying to upset you. It's because they're part of it. It's very clear that you're Madeline McCann. The evidence is overwhelming that you're Madeline McCann. I'll quite happily call you Madeline McCann from now on. I'm not ashamed to say it. Our governments and the monarchy are international criminals facilitating crimes against humanity and against the most innocent of all, the children. This is going to stop one way or another. It has to. And there is going to be no greater time to stop it than now, before they potentially carry out their crimes in far worse ways against humanity using very sinister means. We've got to stop this. And you've done incredible. You've done absolutely incredible.
And I just want to also pipe in you for a sec, Julia. You know, this is all biblical. You know, it's a promise from God that everything that's done in the dark will be shouted off rooftops. There's no denying that. That's an absolute fact, and you can take it to the bank. These people will not get away with it because they're going to get exposed, and the enemy knows he's running out of time. Sooner than later.
Sheena, do you think I should say what happened before I was taken?
Before when?
Before I was taken?
Yes.
I mean, GM, KM.
Yes. Because you know why? A lot of people think these parents are innocent, and they're going to get the shock of their lives to know that they're not. So yes. And it will also make sense why they're not coming forward for a DNA test. It's all going to blow up. They are deliberately not coming forward because they know they will be taken out. They hold.
I just cannot.
You don't know that. You don't know what they partnered with and why they decided to give you away or sacrifice you.
I don't know, but I just.
It
has been a long time, and I still haven't processed what they did.
Well, nobody knows how you feel, and we can only imagine what awful situation you've been through. Only you know the right way to react and what to talk about, really.
My way to react is that I always defend Kate, you know, Sheena. You know this. I don't know why. Yeah. I won't say it's too sorry, Sheena, I thought I will defend them till the end of my life. Actually.
You know
I
what?
don't know why I'm not
if you're comfortable, Julia, only if you're comfortable and ready to speak about it.
I wrote it in my memories down. I wrote it down. I said one sentence down when I published it a few days ago, but it's much harder to say it loudly and mention their names. No way I will do this today.
Okay, that's fine.
You've done amazing, Julia, in what you've done.
Yeah.
You know, incredible that you're talking about this, and we are all so proud of you. I'm there for you. I support you. I believe you're Madeline McCann. anyone that doesn't seriously have to, we all have to seriously consider that. I believe you're her. It's overwhelming to me, and I was in the police. So I'm there for you, and I really believe.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. I mean, I really appreciate your help, all of you. I mean, your help, Sheena, and everyone else, and your Gary. Sometimes it's just hard to process some things and to deal with it every day, and being not believe and hateful and yeah. But someone said that I shouldn't defend Kate. I know I shouldn't.
I agree.
But I feel something in my heart, something that wants to defend her.
It's understandable. It's very understandable. And I just want to encourage you, if you do feel comfortable with talking about it, you don't have to say the words. You can give abbreviations. And you can keep it short and sweet. People's got brains. They're very smart. They can put 2 and 2 together.
Okay, I will. So I will just say the sentence I put to post that I published a few days ago. Okay. I can do this, or I can't. They will make me a trial, actually, if I will say it, because they want. They don't want the truth to come out.
Julia, they cannot touch you. And I remind you often why they cannot touch you. You are anointed. You've been anointed since the day you were born. If the devil's been trying to take you out for years, girl, it's not going to happen. You're surrounded by an army.
Yeah, but I
they cannot touch you.
Yeah, but I feel like I want to defend Kate all the time, and I'm able to say that one real parent abused me, but when it's about the second parent, I cannot say anything bad about her because I truly had a connection. I truly feel that I don't know how to say it even. Like,
she's in the
people don't believe me and I don't care, but I just want to meet her. I just want to give her a hug, and that's all.
I understand.
And I want to know that everything will be okay, that nothing bad will happen anymore, that justice will be brought, and that no case will be heard anymore. And I want to defend this person, and I will defend this person because of the words she said to me before anything happened in the room.
I know all of this. I know how you feel, but you deserve justice too. Okay? I just want you to know that. Little Maddie deserves justice. Your inner child deserves that.
It will never be
No.
It will never be achieved.
You cannot say that. You gotta have faith, girl. Faith. I often tell you this. This is absolutely biblical. It's a matter of time.
If there's not justice in this life, it'll be after their life.
Fact.
And
you can keep it brief. You don't have to say it.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with Sheena. I think this is divine intervention. The reason you're here now, exposing this at this time in history, along with other things coming out, it's stand by that divinity and that faith.
Sorry, because someone said if you want to defend her, then defend her. I say the reason I want to defend her is that because I feel it's my heart that she, Sheena, I know if I told you about this, I don't feel the same about both of them. You probably know this. I feel different about her than about him. I feel like she never meant to do this with a clear mind, and I feel like he did the things with being mindful about them in the same time, she wasn't. This is my
I hear you, but I'm also an outsider, and I know exactly what she did to you as well. So it's very hard as a mother to go with that thought process.
But I see it differently.
that's okay. It's going to take time.
I think if the fact, if everybody came forward now, in truth, in this whole situation, okay, in faith that there's something larger than us overseeing all of this, and they repented and they committed to a change to save the children and save humanity, I personally can forgive that and believe that God will forgive them. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're sticking with their deceit, with their lies. This includes Kate as well.
I can say, and I believe that if it will reach to Kate, then I really believe she'll do something. I will say that truth will set you free.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So just help me.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I also want to ask all of you to share my evidences, because I also believe that if more people will see it, more people will believe me, that if more people will like stand for the truth, then they will maybe, I don't think they will do the DNA test, but but maybe it will put some pressure on them, some pressure on police, and yeah, and I would like to clear my name from all the things that were said about me last year, and I would like to prove who I really am, and I would like to help other people, and yeah, and if you don't believe me, that's okay. If you believe me, thank you for support, and yeah.
Well, I believe you. I don't need any more convincing. I'm convinced, and I would quite happily call you Madeline. And if I'm saying that, then there'll be other people that will be feeling the same. So you've got my support, Julia. You know where I am, and I think you've done incredible tonight. You should be incredibly proud of yourself. You've gone against all of the odds. You've gone against everything, haven't you? And look where you are. Look how far you've come and how strong you are compared to how you were last year and the year before. You're amazing.
I don't know how it's possible I spoke about this today.
Because
I tried to speak out about this for a long time, and Sheena knows.
But you know how you've done it.
Yep.
If you let the Holy Spirit lead you, you're on the right track.
100%.
He helps. He's your helper. He's your friend.
I know.
And you did amazing.
I don't have a contact with my Polish parents anymore because someone asked me. Okay, yeah, I think it's 1 a.m. almost. I will just if you wanna say something else, because I just wanna just sit down with my thoughts and maybe pray and just go to sleep.
I'm going to go, Julia, but I just want to say you're in a position, and I think you are going to help save humanity quite literally from itself. Let that sink in, how valued and how important and how special you are. And that's you making that happen by having the courage and wisdom to actually do what you're doing. You're going to assist in saving humanity and all of those children. I'm certain of it. So I want to say a massive thank you.
I would like to know if this place still exists, and I would like to know if these children that weren't murdered are safe. Yeah, I was supposed to speak about the forest hunting and house in the forest and girl hanging on the tree, but I think I would prefer to move it to the other day.
There's so much. You've only literally touched the surface. There's so much you still need to unpack, and I agree. I think another day is a good time to do that. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah. Well done, Julia. We're so proud of you. You've got so much support. Ignore those people. They're probably not even real people. they're probably phone farms, all right, and computers generating all of these negative comments. It's quite obvious, Julia. Take care,
Okay.
and we'll touch
Thank you,
base soon.
Gary.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Gary. Thank you,
All right.
Sheena.
Take care.
Tina,
God
can
bless
I?
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Tina, can
Bye.
I call you? Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here and for supporting.